Russia threatened that the United States, US, would face consequences if it sent military assistance in the form of advanced weapons and heavy artillery to Ukraine. According to a Washington Post report released by CNN, in a diplomatic note this week, Moscow warned the US and NATO not to send the most sensitive weapons to Kyiv in a conflict with Russia. This commemoration comes in the same week that US President Joe Biden promised Ukraine heavy and sophisticated weapons, in the form of helicopters, howitzers and armored personnel carriers. The US $800 million military aid package is in addition to the previous one. What the Russians have told us privately is exactly what we have been telling the world publicly, that the enormous amount of assistance we are providing our Ukrainian partners is proving very effective, the Washington Post reported, citing a senior U.S. administration official. The U.S. State Department declined to comment on this report. "We will not confirm any private diplomatic correspondence," a State Department spokesman said. According to a U.S. official source in the New York Times report, the note was sent through normal channels and was not signed by a senior Russian official. This official correspondence shows Russia's concern over arms support for Ukraine, a U.S. official told CNN. CNN also reported that a source familiar with the document said this complaint could mean Moscow is preparing to take a more aggressive stance against the United States and NATO as the invasion of Ukraine continues. Last Wednesday, the 13th of April 2022, Biden told Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky about the arms aid package by telephone. This assistance comes at a time when Russia is focusing its attacks on the east. As Russia prepares to intensify its attacks in the Donbas region, the United States will continue to provide Ukraine with the ability to defend itself, Biden said. This new aid package will contain many of the highly effective weapons systems that we have provided and new capabilities adapted to the broader attack that we expect Russia to launch in eastern Ukraine. The new aid, which included advanced weapons and heavy artillery, had previously been rejected by Washington for fear of escalating the conflict with Russia. What type of weapon is it? 1. 11 Mi-17 helicopters originally destined for Afghanistan. 2. 18,155 mm howitzer guns. Point 3. 300+ switchblade drones. 4. A radar system capable of tracking incoming fire and pinpointing its origin. This is the first time the United States has provided the Ukrainian howitzer, a form of field artillery. The Pentagon's press secretary, John Kirby, said Wednesday that the arms aid package was tailored to the fight in Donbas. Zelensky made the request to U.S. President Joe Biden in a recent telephone conversation. The President of Ukraine wants the U.S. to designate Russia as a state sponsor of terrorism, said someone familiar with this. According to sources, reports CNN, Zelensky's request did not come with the same level of urgency as he asked Western leaders for additional weapons and financial assistance. But he did so as part of an effort to increase international condemnation of Russia.